We are going to my
Inspecting an
friend's house,
accessible
Emeka
home.
Nnaka. We're going to do an inspection on his house and just kind of show what a wheelchair accessible house looks like, the differences, and how Emeka gets by. It's going to be really awesome, so stay tuned and check it out. Hey, this is Joe with Daily Bread Inspections. I'm at my friend's house, Emeka Nnaka. We're going to do an inspection on his house. How old is your house?
I moved here. They built it in 2019, and I moved in late 2019.
Okay, so it's about four years old. We're gonna do an inspection. He's gonna show us some features, and let's get started. Pause. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to clarify. Emeka was 1000% cool with me showing off some of the flaws that we are gonna inspect in this house. So don't feel too bad for him. He was totally cool, and I explained to him how we can repair these items. So continue. So what you have here on your house is fiber cement siding. This is a nice material because it doesn't rot. Stuff is really good, it lasts a long time. What I do call out though is when you have the downspouts for the gutters, all that water will drain, and when it's going near the foundation, it'll puddle up, and you don't want water resting near your foundation because eventually it'll lead to further settlement on the home. So you can already see the water is eroding right here. If you can put a splash block or a downspout extension and just have this water divert away from your foundation, it'll prolong the life expectancy of your house. Let me show you some other things. Down here, the grade level is slightly sloping towards the home, and here's the foundation wall. It's concrete, and it's starting to erode in some places here and there. Ideally, you would like for the grading to have a slope where it's draining away from the foundation, but because it has a slight slope this way, it's doing that same issue where it's resting up against the foundation. What we're looking at here now is the light fixture on the outside. When you attach these, they should be secured. It's a little bit loose. It's like a good idea to also seal these off so that water doesn't get inside and mix with the electrical. Leave an opening at the bottom so that water can drain out. So the proper method would just be to tighten this and seal it off. Yeah, so this fence is completely loose and unstable. And then down here, the gate is completely messed up as well. So Emeka, I've never inspected a kitchen like this. This is pretty unique for a home inspector. We don't normally work with a wheelchair accessible kitchens. Can you give us some more information and things you like, things you don't like, things that you wish could be improved upon?
So one thing that they did was they made it accessible for me to be able to get up under the stove, under the sinks. And so the cutouts allow me to get my chair up under to cook, to wash dishes, clean. One thing that I wish we would have done a little bit differently was make the point of access a little bit lower so that when I'm under the stove, I can like reach it. But thankfully my chair is able to elevate, so I'm able to elevate and get up under if I need to. It doesn't stop me from getting up under the sink or anything like that. Same thing with my island, is so that I have a space to roll up under. So I think one thing I thought I would want was that if, as me being up under here, I wanted my stove and sink, it'd be more, I guess, efficient if my stove and sink started here. But there's a little bit more space, so I gotta do a little bit more reaching. Yeah, first time home, or first time build.
So the stove is just a little bit too high for you. It'd be more comfortable if it was a little bit lower, or if they had that cut out away. Yeah. Gotcha. So I've noticed the outlets are usually they're really low. I noticed that these ones are a little bit higher. They're up to my waist up here.
Right, so that I could reach and plug stuff up.
Another thing that's different than a normal home that I usually see is the doors are really, really wide and have lots of space.
And so they made them all 36 inches so that I would not have, well, this one is much wider, but they made them 36 inches so I wouldn't have any issues turning, getting in or getting out of any room in this house.
Yeah, so what do you got going on in this room?
This is my home office. This is where I do a lot of speaking engagements online and stuff. And so, yeah, I get to really go to work in here.
All right, so now we made it to your bedroom. The thing that stands out the most to me is this device right here, this mechanical machine. What is this called?
So that is a lift. So prior to my moving into this house, I was using a manual lift. They would, anyone putting me in bed would have to hook my sling up to this other machine, crank me up, and like manually have to move me on top of the bed. This feature, since it's built into my home, I'm able to just get in there and it takes me to the bathroom, my bed. As you can see, my whole setup is accessible.
Yeah, Emeka, so we're finished up with your home inspection. I really appreciate you letting me see your home and kind of checking out features that I'm not too familiar with. So I think I've learned a lot from this experience, maybe as much as you have.
I learned a lot because, I mean, even when things are done well, there are things that could still be improved. So
yeah,
I appreciate you coming out and let me.
And it's like what they always say, no home is ever perfect. That's why you get an inspection, just so you can learn about your home and how you can improve it. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Daily Bread Inspections.
Daily Bread Inspections.